So if we could sit comfortably and turn our attention inward. And welcome your experience, just as it appears to you. Whatever thoughts, sounds, bodily sensations. It is always the universe speaking. It is always the silent, peaceful beingness. That appears to us as a sound, as the breath, as the sunshine shining through the window. And here we are, without borders. Is it possible to be free from the past, this moment of presence? To be freshly not knowing? This borderless presence, like the wide open sky, this wonder, the wonder of the borderless sky. When we say sky, there may be an image, which is okay. But what is being spoken about is not an image. When we say presence or awareness, there may be a concept or a thought that may appear. But presence, awareness. It's beyond words. Not an image. Absolute. Indisputable. So we breathe this vastness, which is the vastness breathing itself. How effortless it is to be. Simplicity of being. The joy of being. There are no owners. To consciousness. In this moment, as you turn your attention, it is your very self that's turning its attention onto itself. But there is no distance. In this looking, in this attending, there is no distance. Complete intimacy. Whatever you notice is at zero distance from yourself. Hearing these words, the hearing, the words, they're not two. Take a look. Notice that in your experience, there is just intimacy, which is love, undisturbable beingness. Can we recognize that and allow this wholeness, this intimacy to live itself through us? Without interfering, Why would you interfere with your very self? Does the ocean interfere with the wave? Effortlessly, the sun shines onto everything equally. Do we need to hold on to our past in meeting each other? Or is it possible to meet each other freshly, innocently, childlike? No judgment, no need for a personal agenda. To allow life to live itself through us. Harmoniously, like a riverbed. A riverbed is available for the river, for the stream. We are this riverbed, and we are the river. What is it that we defend? What for? In the grand scheme of things, everything that appears disappears. Your body, your money, your house, your children, your parents, your thoughts, your feelings. What is it that we're defending? A ghost? A personal character which is what? I read a poem today, very brief poem. I would like to share with you. It's an old Zen mondo. The shadow of bamboo leaves move not an inch, although they sweep the ground. The reflection of the moon leaves no scars on the surface of the pond, although it drills to the bottom. The shadow of bamboo leaves move not an inch, although they sweep the ground. And the reflection of the moon leaves no scars on the water, although it drills to the bottom. How beautiful. The universe is our body. Awareness is not contained inside a brain. Everything is free, liberated from the onset. And everything that appears to you appears from the source. It does not appear from itself. And the source is infinite freedom, the creativity, beauty. Limitation is an imagined mind impression, a belief. Which we adopt, like we put on our clothes. We adorn the belief that I'm a man, a woman, a person. Confuse ourselves with the form which we perceive and which we feel. And then we seek the freedom for the illusory self, overlooking that the illusory self can only gain an illusory freedom. It's understandable to refer to oneself as a psychological character to defend ourselves from the onslaught of people in society, our parents, our teachers, who do not know how to love, do not know what love is, but sooner or later we can let go of this charade of being a psychological self, and we can step into the light of awareness. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot be both a separate self with limited consciousness and simultaneously the light of awareness, which is impersonal. You cannot have it both ways. So you need to take a look and come to the understanding. Keep investigating till you come to the understanding, because in the absence of the understanding, you're repeating and repeating the past. Okay, well, if you have anything that you would like us to discuss, any questions, anything that you would like to look into, please make sure you unmute your mic and we can hang out together.
Yeah, Magdi.
Yes, hello, Omer.
Long time no see, man. 6 months.
Nice to see you, Omer.
Right. So, Magda, as you know, I am already back in awareness after 6 nasty months of overwork and I lost all abilities. But now I'm back and it's working. But it's not the same as before. You know what? When we used to talk almost daily on the trip, it was like we had awareness running 24/7.
Omer, can you speak a little slower or maybe closer to the mic? I'm not hearing you very clearly.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes. Don't speak so fast because I'm having a little hard time with the hearing. Go ahead, please.
All right. So, Magda, as you already know, after 6 months of overload, we used to talk daily on Facebook, and we were very deep in awareness and contemplation. But after that, we lost all flow, you, me, and that other guy. And so we never had a chance to go back to it and fix it, get back into the flow of awareness. So how do you fix that? Even though I have awareness now, and I am abiding as awareness, even as of right now, but it's not as deep as before, you know?
Okay, Omer, I understand. So Omer, I believe that you are confusing awareness or consciousness with a mind state. Mind state can vary. You could have various experiences, various mind states, various feelings, various sensations. And awareness or consciousness, there aren't levels or degrees of consciousness or degrees of awareness. Whenever commonly in the world we speak about degrees of consciousness, we are using the word consciousness not in the same meaning that I use the word consciousness. I refer to the world, to the word consciousness or awareness as the reality which perceives right now. There is only one reality. There are no degrees of reality. Now, when you look over, you look at the sky, there are various shades of blue or red or orange or yellow, depending on the sky, the direction in which you are looking. You could see various degrees, various states. You may look over really beautiful sunshine or sunset and feel very, very exalted. You may look over a thunderstorm and feel very fearful, let's say. Now, that which you perceive, meaning the weather, can change, and there are various degrees of weather. But awareness, meaning that the reality which perceives, is the same. There are no degrees, no levels of awareness or consciousness. So in terms of you sharing with me that there are some experiences that you had awareness a few months ago and now you don't have awareness anymore, you're talking, or less awareness, you're talking about mind states. It is the same awareness that perceives an elephant and the same awareness that perceives an ant. It is the same awareness that perceives a drop of water and the same awareness that perceives the ocean.
Right, but at that time, it was much easier to abide as this awareness, and it was much clearer too. Now it's not as easy and it's not as clear. So obviously there was a difference. We know this, we have a reference point.
Right. So you need to let go of the past. You need to let go of a week ago, a month ago, or whatever, 2 months ago. You need to let go of the past and come to presence right now, meaning turn your attention right now to this moment of presence without reference to the past, without comparison, without measurement. Is it possible? Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that because there are still moments even now where awareness is much more like you say, the sun is shining much more brightly.
No, I'm not talking about comparing. There is no much more in this moment. When you're saying much more, you are still referring to a past. I'm inviting you to, in this very moment, just letting completely go of the past.
Then we only have awareness.
Yes. In order to be unhappy about your experience, you have to compare it to something else.
Then what's the next step? Just stay as that awareness.
When you ask what is the next step, you are now referring to another point in time than presence. In other words, you are right now imagining a next moment, or what, next experience. And so you're asking yourself, well, okay, Magdi, what is going to be the next experience like? And because I don't have a crystal ball, first, I cannot tell you what the next experience is like. But the other thing, which actually I would rather tell you, is that the next experience is this moment. This is the next experience.
Well, we have a race against time because I don't want to be one day old like you and still not enlightened, you know.
Well, you see, When you imagine yourself to be a body, to be a body-mind, when you imagine yourself to be the body that your mom called Umer because she liked the name Umer. She said, this is a beautiful baby. I want to call him Umer. So she called the body Umer. When you confuse yourself to be the body, then you think that you are 30-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 60-year-old, 70-year-old, because you are confusing yourself to be the body. So then you say, well, hey, Magdi, you are such and such an age. I am such and such an age. No, I have no age. The body has an age. I have no problem with that. Yes, the body has an age, and we measure the rotation around the sun at 365 days. We have a whole system of counting. we like that. We like to categorize everything. Boom, with this like this like that. Anyways, so yes, the body has a certain age, but are you the body?
But Magda, this understanding comes through realization after enlightenment.
No. We are talking right now. Don't try to ship me out to some enlightenment land, fairy land. No. No, that's a nice try. It doesn't work. No. The question is very simple right now. Are you the body?
No. I am that very observed.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, so the body appears to you. It appears to you as perception, as sensation. So yeah. What remains, what is it that you are? Obviously you are, right? You agree with me that you are?
Yes.
When you say I am, what are you referring to in this moment?
I am the witnessing that witnesses everything.
You're not just witnessing. Yes, I mean, that's a good direction, but you're not just witnessing. Because, for example, I could be sitting in a tower on the top of the Eiffel Tower and witnessing Paris or witnessing whatever I'm witnessing. But you're not just the witness, because Paris, that which you perceive, how far is it from you?
From the perspective of awareness, it's all the same. It's just witnessing. It's not here or there.
So that which is witnessed, for example, right now you hear these words, right?
Yeah.
How far is the hearing from the witness?
Happening at the same time.
No, I didn't say about time. I said how far.
Zero distance.
Zero distance. So therefore, that which you are witnessing is your very self. It's at zero distance, right?
Yeah.
You're witnessing yourself. So therefore, you're not just the witness, you must also be the creator. Can you go there with me, or?
I'm not sure if I am the creator or any of that stuff.
Okay, well, hold on. You're witnessing something. You're hearing these words, right? You're hearing these words. And that which you're hearing is intimate. It's a zero distance from yourself, right?
I would say that hearing is happening to awareness.
No, I didn't ask that. I didn't ask, is hearing happening through awareness? My question is, you're hearing these words, and the words that you're hearing are at zero distance from yourself, from that which hears. The object and the subject are at zero distance from each other. Yes or no?
Yes.
So therefore, whatever I'm experiencing must be myself. Okay, so given that everything I'm experiencing is myself, I am simultaneously creating, perceiving, and dissolving. Creating, perceiving simultaneously, not in time, not like I create and a second later I perceive and a second later I dissolve. No, simultaneously I create, perceive, and dissolve.
Right, so there's no time.
There is the eternity of awareness, the eternity of consciousness.
Yeah, neither Magdi. I don't have that realization.
Well, are you understanding what we're speaking about?
Yeah, but it doesn't come across as a realization, you know?
Oh,
It
wait,
just
wait,
comes
what?
across as
I'm not. I didn't even mention the word realization. I don't even know what realization is. Did you understand what we're talking about?
yes.
Okay. So you understand that I refers to not a body, that I refers to awareness, and that everything that is manifest in my experience is intimately myself.
Hmm.
You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just stay with that. Stay with that, meaning do not go to the model that I am the body Umer and I live in this village and God knows what's going to happen to me tomorrow. That is about the body. You need to be clear about your reality of consciousness, your reality of awareness, and live as that. Not, I know we have all been living as a person, a son, a mother, a daughter, a father, whatever. We've been living as if we are the body, or as if we are the person. That's okay. We've done it enough for now. Okay? So the next job now, the next exercise, the next play is to live as this awareness, as this transparent awareness with the understanding that everything is myself. The other is my very self. This consciousness and the consciousness of the so-called other is the same consciousness.
Why do we have to live with that?
Because the model that I am the body, meaning that consciousness depends on the brain, is a false model. Well, I mean, that's my understanding. Of course, if you can prove to anybody or to yourself that consciousness is a personal, depends on the body-mind, you're welcome to continue with this model. But when you take a look, when you contemplate, or when you inquire into the question, is consciousness, is awareness limited to a body-mind? You will not find any proof, any evidence, any supporting evidence for that model. So therefore, you drop that model. And when you drop that model, what remains is the I am.
But this dropping of the model, this has to be done consciously, and therefore it becomes a doing.
Becomes a what?
A doing, a practice.
Okay, it's okay. Do that doing. Drop the old model. Like if you go into, you have lots of beautiful boots, and one of the boot is very muddy because you walked in the mud. So you walk in your closet and you see the boots, you don't put on the muddy boots. Yes, it's a doing. It's okay. There's no problem with that doing. It's a doing in the right direction. I am not opposed to any doing as long as in the right direction.
Yeah. That's the only problem we have, because we're just doing and doing and doing for so long, and we're not having any breakthroughs in understanding or reflections or realizations like the ones we're talking about.
Well, we all scheduled to come and join this meeting. So it's a sort of a doing. It's okay. It's a doing which is following our love, which is following our interest. So you can do whatever you like to do as long as it's following your love and it is making you happy.
Magda, the only thing that makes me happy is enlightenment.
Is what?
Enlightenment.
Good.
But we don't have it.
Well, you're inquiring, you are exploring in the direction of understanding, which is good. Just maintain your interest. I mean, if it's your interest, I don't need to tell you maintain your interest. If it's your interest, you're gonna do it.
Do you still maintain that it is awareness that walks the path and not the body mind? It's awareness that tries to discover itself.
There is only one reality. And this one reality is not something that decays after 100 years.
No, I mean, you once said that awareness is like a person who is trying to find himself, but he doesn't know that it is awareness himself. A long time ago, that it is awareness that is playing this game of Maya, and it is awareness that wakes up to itself.
There's only one reality, Umer.
So awareness is both the criminal and the savior, huh?
Within this one reality, there are no criminals and no saviors.
From the final perspective, yeah, there is no such thing other than awareness.
Like in the ocean, there isn't a good wave and a bad wave. Right?
Yeah. But what happens is that at least something in the ocean is trying to find itself, right? Finding Nemo is trying to find itself. Awareness is trying to find enlightenment by looking into itself. I mean, that's the most bizarre thing to me, that awareness is trying to find enlightenment by looking into itself.
Have you ever been, in fact, anything else but aware? Have you ever been anything else but awareness? Let me put it another way. Have you ever been anything? Have you ever actually been anything?
No, but then we have the false belief in the self, right? The false belief in the limited self. What has that belief?
Yes, but the fact that you have a belief that you are a unicorn does not mean that you are a unicorn, even though you may feel very, very strongly about it. Even though you may feel very, very strongly about it.
But isn't it awareness that believes that it is a unicorn?
There's only one reality, Umer. If you choose to believe that you are a unicorn, that is your freedom. You are exercising your freedom.
Okay, when you say you, do you mean me, Umar, or do you mean awareness?
There is only one you. There's only one I.
So you're talking to awareness right now.
It's only awareness. Why would I talk to 150 pounds of bone, flesh, and
So,
meet.
but why is awareness? I mean, if awareness is fine with its one reality, why is it interested in finding out its true reality? Why did it even take the notion of the false reality?
What does it matter, Omer? Let's say that you get the answer. Oh, it's awareness who is doing that because awareness is playing a game, and it's a game. It's the game of universal domino. Okay, you get the answer. Of what use is this question and this answer to you? Aren't you more interested in happiness, in freedom, in peace? Some questions are just how do you say, at the mind level, they don't serve a purpose. They don't really take you in the direction that your heart truly desires.
Mm. Yeah, it's just that the fact that it is awareness, which is myself, which is trying to find enlightenment by realizing my true self, my true nature, my true I.
You already are. You are your true self. Just don't travel in time. Just let go of all your knowledge and just be as you are now, just not knowing. Be this presence. You already are this presence. I mean, it's a way of speaking. I say be this presence, like you have to do something. No, I mean, don't, we constantly refer to the past and the future. And we refer to the past and the future as somebody, as a person who is living in time. But in fact, you are not living in time. Time appears in you. Time appears to you as a thought, as sensation. You do not exist in time. You do not exist in a room. The room appears to you. Perception appears to you. So to be watchful of how habituated we are to perceive in time and space, as if we are in time and space. I mean, time and space has its function. Like this meeting today was at a certain time. When you go to the market to buy some vegetables, there is a certain, you go downtown, you know where to go. So time and space has its function, but not when it comes to the understanding about reality.
Well, something like, because I need to beat somebody up, like, for example, if you found out, I'm saying it's like I need to beat somebody up because you find out that somebody stole something from you, but then you realize it was not even yours all along, because everything belongs to you, even that which was stolen.
Well, wait a minute. If somebody is going to come to steal my car, I am going to immediately call the police about that. You cannot confuse, you have to be watchful not to confuse the relative and the absolute. There is a relative realm for the body-mind. So the body-mind operates in that realm. There is a certain social order and a certain genetic order to the functioning of the body-mind. So that has its order, it has its laws. And as a society, we have our laws and our agreements about how to operate in as a society.
And if awareness does not depend on the body mind, then why is it that whenever tragedy struck, we lose our practice, we lose all our flow, all our abilities to abide as awareness?
Well, because there is a certain maturity to spiritual maturity that initially we may be on the path, but we may easily be taken off the path by events in the world, by events in the body, by relationships, by world events. But as your understanding deepens, you are less and less taken off the path by the events in the world, in the body or the mind.
Because the last time it happened, I was gone for 6 months from practice, and I was so busy. I had not a moment's rest. And if it happens again, then I'm completely off the path, not just sparingly. And I feel it happens for many other people as well.
Well, as you gain understanding about our true nature, about consciousness, then order will follow. It takes time for the understanding to sort of bloom within you. It's not a quick thing, but it's best to go with the direct path, which is the path that points directly to that which is pointing.
Yeah, you know what would be really nice if we could beat up awareness whenever some things like that happen, Thank you, Magdi. That's all.
Okay, Omer. Nice talking with you, Omer. Let's see if there are other questions. Any questions?
Hello, Magdi.
Yes, hello, Lulu. Hello.
Is it possible for you to talk about the difference between soul and spirit?
Yes. I don't use these words too often or very rarely, but so there is, in our experience, we all are aware. There is awareness. Mm-hmm. Everything that we experience via awareness, which is not an object, which is not something that we perceive. It is the reality which perceives. Mm-hmm. And this reality is not personal. In other words, it's not contained. At least you need to investigate that. But if anybody who wants to investigate that, we're welcome to investigate it. But this reality is not contained within another reality. It's not contained within something which is more real than it, which is called the body. Mm-hmm. It's not contained in something which is more real than it, which is called the brain, or it is not contained. At least there is no evidence that awareness or consciousness is contained. Yet it's undeniable, because each one of us can say, yes, I am, and I am aware, beyond any doubt. When we say I am aware, we don't go check inside the brain, or we don't go check inside the body. We just go directly to awareness, and we say, yes, of course I am aware. Now, this awareness is, I'll use the term universal, meaning the awareness right now that hears these words as a way of speaking, and the awareness that is speaking these words is the same awareness, it's one awareness. Mm-hmm. And this one awareness, is not an object that's floating in space. It's not an object. And in fact, when you take a look at objects, meaning perception, because you perceive a tree, right? You perceive a car, you perceive a table. Mm-hmm. When you look at an object, you actually find that, in fact, we are not talking about objects, we're talking about perception.
Correct.
There is a projection at the mind level saying a table or a car or a tree, but our experience is always perception. So an object is, in fact, awareness or consciousness taking on the form of a perception. It doesn't leave itself and come back, says, oh, I went, I experienced the tree and now I'm back. No. The tree is perceived as a perception intimately within ourselves. And when we look for the tree, we don't find a tree. We only find a perception or a sensation. We find an intimate experience. And when we look at this intimate experience, we find that this intimate experience is formless. It's not made out of pieces that are like a puzzle of pieces put together. It is formless, yet it's undeniable. Like right now, it's undeniable that we are hearing these words, that we are speaking these words. It's undeniable, but yet it is formless. So the form that appears to us as a form, its reality is formless. Mm-hmm. The reason why we say there is a form, the way we refer to the term of form, because form has a relative aspect to it, at least the way we conceptualize it. For example, I could whisper. If I whisper right now, it's different from when I'm speaking loud. So there are levels of manifestation, levels of expression, which we refer to as levels of form. Mm-hmm. Although there is a whisper, and there is also a louder expression, the reality of the whisper and the reality of a sound that is not a whisper is the same reality, which is awareness, consciousness. Like the ocean, whether you have a very slight wave or a big wave on the surface of the ocean, the reality of this small wave, very, very tiny wave that you can barely perceive, and the reality of a more important wave is the water, is the same reality. So in terms of spirit, which again, I don't use this term, but in terms of when the sages or religious teachers were speaking in the language of spirit, they were referring to that reality, to that which is the reality of everything, of everyone and on everything. So in a way, we could say that I am spirit, and all is spirit, everything is spirit, meaning I am awareness, I am consciousness, and everything is awareness, everything is consciousness. For example, like the ocean is water, it is the ocean, and it is also all the waves and all the currents, the one reality. So in terms of spirit, in that language, that when I use the term spirit, I would be referring to consciousness awareness. When I speak about soul, which I rarely use the term soul, I am referring now to the sense of I, the local sense of I. There is a local impression of me. This local impression is the result of the mind. For example, right now, I don't know the color of your socks, nor do you know the color of my socks, or whether I'm wearing socks or not, or whether you're wearing socks or not. So there is a local mind. At the local level, there is a personal experience. Now, this personal experience is not separate from consciousness, meaning You cannot experience the color of your socks without awareness, right?
Right.
Everything that you experience at the local level, meaning at the mind level, is actually one with awareness, with consciousness. Now, the impression when you mix consciousness with local mind, say, well, this is my soul. This is my soul. Your soul and my soul seem to be different because your mind experience and my mind experience are different. But in fact, the reality of your mind, the reality of my mind is the same reality. The reality of the big wave or the blue wave or the green wave or the wave with a lot of foam or no foam is the same reality, which is water. So in the impression that there is a personal soul, a personal soul, is a false impression when you refer to reality. Because in reality, there are not two realities. But when you refer to the mind, yes, your car may be, a Toyota, my car may be a Honda or Chevrolet, you see. So at the level of manifestation, at the level of the mind, the thought that you're having right now, the sensation that within your body right now, and the thought that I'm having right now and the sensation I'm having right now are different. They're not the same. So at that level, there are differences. But the reality of minds is the same. So I never use the word soul because soul is often referred to or misunderstood. I don't use it because it seems to refer to a personal consciousness. There is no such thing as a personal consciousness. There are perceptions that are particular to the body-mind Lulu, and there are perceptions and sensations and thoughts and memories and feelings, etc., that are particular to the body-mind called Magdi. Yes, the color of my car and the color of your car are different. Well, maybe. So there are these differences at the body-mind level. But this does not mean that there are separate realities, separate souls, actual separate soul. We do not experience a soul. That's an important thing because that's why I give up on the term soul. Why complicate things? Our experience is very simple.
Right.
Our experience is perceptions, sensations, thoughts, right?
Right.
And turiya, meaning and awareness. Right? We don't experience a soul.
No.
We don't even experience a mind. I use the term mind to refer to that which we experience. It's just I choose, usually, conventionally, the word mind is used to refer to thoughts. They say, what's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Mm.
Meaning, what are you thinking about? What's floating through? What's appearing to you right now? But I use the term mind to refer to the phenomenal, whatever we experience, thoughts, perceptions, sensations, hunger, tiredness, memory, you perceiving something, hunger. Well, I refer all of that as mind. And I refer to the reality that perceives, the reality of everything, the world, the reality of the world, of the body, of the mind as consciousness. So I don't use the term soul and spirit. So if you use the term soul and spirit, you need to understand that both soul and spirit have one reality, which is the reality of consciousness. And there is no such thing as a soul apart from spirit, apart from consciousness. Soul, spirit, and consciousness are one. And mind, the mind, has a multiplicity, is varied, varies, but its reality is one.
It's like perceiver and the perceived, which they are. I understand. Thank you. That was very clear.
And if you look in your experience, Lulu, you're always experiencing this one experience.
Correct. Yeah.
We don't experience a series of experiences.
No, and it's always in the past. Yes.
A memory is a current experience.
Correct.
Okay, a current thought or a current sensation. So we're always experiencing this. We do not experience many things. Now, it's helpful for us to make a distinction between the table and the door.
Right.
So
the daily stuff.
Yeah, when I tell you, okay, you know, the keys are on the table, you're not going to go look on the bed.
Right.
So the distinctions that we make are functional distinctions that, period, that serve that purpose.
Right. Thank you for clarifying. That was helpful, very helpful.
Yes. I came from Judeo-Christian tradition, and I was brought up with those terms, soul and spirit, but I never really fully understood. I mean, for example, like in the Course of Miracles, they use the term the Holy Spirit. So within certain traditions, they use the term spirit as part of their teaching, and they clarify how they mean, how they're using that term. I don't go there because I somehow feel that things are complicated enough as they are. Simplify.
I couldn't agree with you more. That's true. Yes.
You know, in truth, in reality, we are all the same. And when we hear that, it makes us happy to understand that. In general, I don't know, maybe some people say, no, I don't want to be like you. But anyways, maybe I'm speaking for myself. It makes me happy when I realize we're all the same. Well, yeah. Not the same in the shape, in the form, we're all the same in reality, in the love, in the compassion, the sense of respect and happiness, in the deeper meaning.
One mind, but depending on the geographical space and time where we were born, that's how it makes a difference.
Yeah, that's just at the body-mind level.
Right.
But not at I, the level of I. When you say I, you're not referring to the name of your body.
No.
There is a body, and it's named Lulu. But when you say I, you're referring to
one mind.
Us. Yeah, the reality of awareness.
Ironically, we all call ourselves I.
Yes, we all refer to I. We all say I.
Yeah.
Yes. And when we overlook that we are that same I, the same self, then we're not very loving with each other.
We put a distance.
Yes, we put a distance, and then there is the judgment.
Yeah. My understanding is the minute I put a distance, that's where the unhappiness walks in.
Yes. And the distance we're putting is just between me and myself. which is mad, really, because how can you distance yourself from yourself?
Work of 1,000,000 years of human minds brought us today.
Yeah, but in this moment we can bring in the healing, or we can bring in the understanding.
Of course, of
Because
course.
the understanding restores, restores order.
No.
Without the understanding, then the old program is just running itself.
Okay.
And so, sometimes we need to remind ourselves over and over, because the old program has been running for so long. I am this body, I am this person, I'm a great guy, I'm a not loving girl, blah, blah, blah. This program of the sense of separation has been running for so long that we may need to remind ourselves over and over. And also in our actions, we can remind ourselves how we act when we act from this place of understanding that the other is myself. When we act from that way, that understanding, it also, how do you say, our understanding flowers, it blooms, it grows within us. So our actions, our life is a wonderful place for us to establish.
Blossom.
Yes, establish the. Yeah, because it's of course, what use is it to have the understanding and you're still living like a selfish? When you have to live it, it's very important. You don't have to be perfect. It's not about perfection. It's an intention and interest and a love for truth, and you're loving the truth. You live it. You love it and you live it. You love it and live it.
Right.
And sometimes we find we have to maybe come out from our shell.
Yeah, we need to allow the love to blossom, but we like to bottle it and sell it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Lulu.
Thank you. It was a beautiful conversation. Thank you.
Same here. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, well, these are no more questions. Very lovely to be with you. Thank you all. Fernando, nice to see you. And Nathan, and Lisa, and Lulu, Emeline, Holger, Esther, Grace, Mina, Domina.
Thank you, Magdi.
Shiva, nice to see you, Mina. And George, hey George. Holly, hello Holly. Jenny, Umer, Marga, and Gisela. Okay, love you. Thank you all.
Love you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.